Welcome back to Drum Wargaming. Today we are going to be painting a giant. This is a guy that I 3D printed. I kind of want to proxy some Sons of Bahamut before I decide if I want to buy them or not. So I 3D printed it. The base is 3D printed, the guy is 3D printed. I just put a lot of my extra order bits on him, so he's going to be a proxy for a Kraken Eater, which is the order version, like the order Gargant. So I put a lot of order parts on him. I have some customizations with like some stuff from a Griffin kit, some bases from some Underworlds guys, lots of Cadron Overlord bits, like here, like the Sky Mines and stuff, a big old banner, a little balloon from the Balloon Boys, a harpoon gun, because this is, and then the little Fire Slayer Mohawk I wanted to put on him. This is like a Cyclops version, so this is definitely like one of the biggest models that we've painted, and it is a 3D print, so it is a little different than some stuff that we usually do because it does have some print lines on it. But I think overall it'll be fine. I didn't do a whole lot of filling work on it. I didn't actually do really any. I just kind of filled right here where I separated it for printing, and there was one here you can kind of see there, but I covered it up with a lot of bits to kind of forget that part. So let's get to painting. First we're gonna use our black paint, and we are going to dot his eye, just because it's the lowest layer of things. We're gonna get into that with our little teeny brush, and then just kind of do our best. So now he's got an eyeball. Then we'll go over that black spot really quick with the matte white that we used to prime him. I did spray like an automotive primer on it first, a gray automotive primer to there we go, to fill in some gaps, and then the rest of it is just stuff. Okay, so now we're gonna do his skin. So we use the Gulliman flesh. See how this works with all the print lines on it. We'll see how it looks. And if it doesn't look good, we can make a decision later, but we're gonna get all his skin, which is, the bulk of him, being that he is a giant. You can probably use a bigger brush than I'm using, but it's okay. We can go ahead and it's okay at this point to touch all the other bits of him, because this is the lowest level. Everything else is going to get painted. We're not contrast painting anything else. At least I don't think we are right now. So just get his flesh covered. Like I said, this guy's going to be our Kraken Eater. So he was already nautical type themed, the model that I had chosen. He had this anchor on him already. He had like this fishing net and this like sea turtle shell on him. So I mean, if you're gonna 3D print models, for Warhammer, definitely try to find ones that at least kind of are themed correctly, and make sure you scale them to the right sizes, because this guy was supposed to be printed at, I think, 12 inches tall, which is not the right size. The right size is about 6.5 inches. If you're interested in printing your own, I'm printing all three of the Gargants, like my versions of them anyway. So the Chaos one and the Death one also will be printed. But those This guy took about 2 days to print. It looks like, it seems like that's probably about the standard for something about this big for me anyway. Because the next one I'm printing is also 2 days. It's a different model. I'm using a different model for that one. And I have a lot of bits from all my armies to kind of get some of that GW theming in on them. I think I'm going to contrast paint all their skins. It does a good job of, see, it's a little cruddy and chunky in there, but like I said, we're just proxying just to see if we like the Sons of Bahamut, because the model kit's is $200, and it builds 1 Gargant. So if you want to play with all of them, I don't know if you can. I ordered the codex and it hasn't come yet. So, but I want to see if I can, if I like them or not, and then I can decide to buy them and not invest $600 in it right away. You know, I can kind of slow grow it, which is the better play. Make sure you get all the white bits covered. There. And then we want to we're going to incorporate a lot of type of like theming into him. Like we're going to paint the feathers, the color, like the blues and the reds and stuff like that. This is like a mast of a ship, so that's really cool. Like this is a pretty dope model. You can get it on my mini factory. It's like $15, I think. It's like $15 and then maybe like $5 worth of filament to print. So, I mean, $20 for a big Gargant is a pretty good deal. You can use them for D&D. You don't have to use it for Warhammer, of course. But just, yeah, if you want, just make sure you scale it in mesh mixer first. And slice it to fit if you need to. Like I had to slice it to make it fit on my printer, which is an Ender 3. I didn't have to. I did just to make it a little easier on myself and not build so high. This next one I'm printing right now is not cut. It's not sectioned off into any pieces. It's just one piece. So we'll see how that goes. He doesn't have any weapons in his hands, so I'm gonna kind of manufacture him some weapons and see how that goes. So you want to be careful around the mouth here because we don't want to get, not the mouth, I mean the eye, because we just painted it and we don't want to get the eye to be that color that we don't want to dye the eye. I'm really excited to build all of these guys. I don't know if I should film all of them on here. I mean, if you guys like this one, definitely let me know and I can film painting the other ones. Maybe I'll film some of the conversion process too, of like just kit bashing and throwing pieces on it from my other guys, but see how we make that work on a 3D printed model. You get all the spots. Here we go. Nice. The back of his head. This is probably like the biggest model I've ever painted. I mean, I've painted like the Maw Crusher and stuff for orcs, so maybe it's not the biggest one that I've painted. Because it's about, the Maw Crusher is about the same size. I think. But it's also a lot more detailed too, so maybe this isn't like, it's pretty easy to paint. It's a big model with big sweeping details. You don't have to worry so much about getting like, making sure you get like little bits, because it's all just a big bit. Thinking about making the fingernails all grody and like black maybe. Maybe a little goth boy. And then I'm gonna decorate the base for this with like sand and have like some fake water going on, so he's like on the beach, to kind of sell that he is the Kraken eater that hangs out more on the shores, because that's what he does. Really like this flesh color a lot more than how I was doing it before. It just does a better job, and it looks a lot smoother and stuff when it dries than what I was doing before, which was like just the flesh tone and like a Reckling flesh wash over the top. I also broke his finger a little bit when I was removing the supports, so that's another drawback of 3D printing, is the supports are super tough sometimes to get off, and you can risk breaking the model when you're taking the supports off, which I've done a lot on different models that I've printed. This is the first time I actually printed a model, really. I usually print like cosplay stuff. I just finished printing a Rocketeer helmet and painting that guy up, but that was the first time I actually got to print a full helmet. So I'm just kind of I was slowly kind of building the confidence in my 3D printer, because I don't know if it's going to burn down the house or what, or fail after long prints, and then you have to start all over again. So I just took a couple days to slowly build the confidence and just increase the time until I got to this guy, which was like a 2-day print, like all in like just one shot. So I felt comfortable enough at that time to go ahead and do that. And it took definitely a while. Like I had some layer skips before on other things, and I figured out all those problems. A lot of troubleshooting when you're 3D printing something, just to kind of figure it out. I do not recommend getting a lot of aftermarket parts and like upgrading your printer, like, which is what a lot of people do. Like run it until like a part breaks and then replace it, because I haven't replaced any parts on my printer except the stepper, one of the stepper gears, because it was really messed up, and my printer was down for like a long time because I couldn't figure out what was broken. Get his foot. It's hard to tell what's foot and what's, I think it's just like the lower stuff. Also like in the holes maybe. He's got his diabetic support socks on to help his swelling. Yeah, let's just fill these little holes here. This is definitely those are definitely parts of his legs. His knee is also showing here, so we'll paint that. Some more leg is showing. It's a good thing about this being so big is that it's pretty easy to kind of pick out the details and be like, all right, I need to paint that this color. Okay, so that is his skin all done, and he's already looking pretty dope. Now let's go to like the fur up here And the browns, like the really dark browns, maybe. Let's go with those. I think his pants are going to be brown too, so let's get our leather brown color. And this will also get our woods too, so we'll get the mast and stuff too at the same time. So just paint on your brush. You don't have to mount him on his base before you paint, but I thought it would be a lot easier if I did. I think that's a rope around his neck, so we'll paint like a yellowish ropey color on it. I was trying to think of like, what's a furry sea animal that I could use to paint like this color on him, but there's not really any furry sea animals. I couldn't really think of any anyway. I mean, there's mammals, but they don't have fur. I couldn't even think of like a fantasy one, but I don't really know a ton of fantasy type creatures to really reference, so maybe there is. If you know, go ahead and comment and then be like, you idiot, this thing is thing, and I'll be like, oh yeah, duh. In there. Is that skin? That's not skin, that's fur here still. We're gonna dry brush like a lighter brown over the top of this and like a white to kind of blend it a little better. Put some Cadron Overlord spears in him and stuff, because I figured those would be the ones that he would encounter the most if they were like floating over the seas or something, so that he has encountered them the most. And you know, he's kind of, they fought him, but just to get him away from them, he's just a curious little guy. Lots of big areas to paint on this guy. Hopefully we can get him done in about an hour. That would be a good time. might skip the next video that's supposed to be the ATRT part 2 and put him in there just because the Gargants had just come out this weekend for Age of Sigmar. But so that people can get an idea of kind of how to paint giants, even though it's not the same giant that they'll be painting. But, you know, just kind of doing what the crowds are doing at this time. And even if you do print this guy, right, you're not going to have maybe all these bits that I have on here unless you have like a crazy bit box. Or you just so happen to play all the armies that I play. I wanted them to kind of fit with all the armies that I play. So this guy has a lot of Cadron stuff on him because that's my order army that I have. The Chaos guy is going to have a lot of Skaven bits because that's what I play for Chaos. And then for Death, that guy's going to have a lot of Flesh Eater Court stuff. And then I have like a lot of Iron Jaws bits kind of scattered through them too. Because I mean these guys are already default destruction. So they can be used in all destruction armies. All three of them can, but each individual one can be used by another faction. This Kraken Eater is pretty cool in the game because he can kick objectives and move them, which is pretty sweet. Okay, let's get, these all look like this looks like a rope, so I'll do the rope the same color. There's fur here, so we'll get the fur there. Just kind of stepping back every once in a while and seeing like what things are what. Especially on like more lower res prints, it's not going to be as apparent for some things of what they are, other than other things, you know. So definitely just take your time. Oops, didn't get in there with the paint. We should fix that while we're here. That way it's all dry pretty quickly. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? You guys saw where I put it, but I didn't see where I put it. Here it is. Okay. Make sure we got the whole thing. Yeah, okay. Just that one little spot. Okay. Let's keep going. Yeah, but this is like my first time like investing into like a model that I 3D printed and, you know, taking it all the way to 100% and seeing like what it looks like. So it'll be interesting to see at the end how this all comes together. Paint in there. What color are we gonna do the stitches? That's something to think about because we're gonna use like a tan. Oh no, we can use like a tan, I guess. tan might be the right choice. But we are using like that khaki, that World War II khaki that we use for the other leather bits. And we got some up here. This is a big model, so excuse me if it's not in frame all the time. Trying my best here to navigate this monster and paint him. Make sure we got the tops here. Okay. Now we're gonna get the underpants here, the big bits here. The main bulk part of the pants. Lots of little nooks and crannies on this too, so just try to get those. More brown. Try to keep it clean there. Go to the back. Get in there. This guy's getting a little awkward to hold. So make sure you get in all the spots. Ooh. So much brown. You can see the separation here where the pants end and the like sock bits start, so just be careful around there. You can see I didn't get all the little divots with his skin color, but he did a decent job. Almost there with this leg. Then we get the other giant fucking leg. Probably shouldn't have based him so I can get on some of these spots easier, but oh well. Go on to the other leg now. We didn't just rip off a bunch of paint. Okay. Patch that we're going to be painting a different color. Just try not to hold onto the paint so I don't dab it off on accident. Get in there, kind of poke it in there. Just to make sure that we get at least a little undercoat in there. There's just so much model. Let's go around, because obviously that's not enough. And we'll do a brown wash over the whole thing so that will help pick up some of this other stuff that we missed, like the whole bits. Just getting the underside here. It's a little hard to see. Like I say, if you can't see it, then no one else really can. So, but sometimes it's like, but you know, and I get that. There's his pants done. Let's get that. So now we have to paint the mask. We're gonna use a bigger brush for that. Use a bigger flat brush. Just load it up with paint. Get his club painted. So he put the sky mines on it so that he can kill the krakens faster so that he can eat them. It's my lore anyway. I think the print lines are the most egregious on this piece. For some reason, the supports decided to stick really hard to this one. And it left a lot of residue behind. There was some stringing on the Model 2, but I just took a lighter and kind of heated it up, and then that kind of melted the strings away. But yeah, removing the supports is always the worst part for me. Like I cut myself so many times getting supports off. Like it is rough. Be careful around the hands now. Let's start slowing down. Let's go back to the smaller brush. Back to this guy. Get in there. Get the little under parts there too when we're doing this. Let's turn him upside down to get the inside here. Right. Oop. Some brown that we missed here earlier. Get that. So the mast is now painted. Or base coated at least, not painted yet. So now we're gonna go to pick the ropes and the alternate colors here and here, and this part too. Yeah, let's do that next. So we're gonna use somewhere this guy, German camo beige, World War II. It's really watery for some reason. I think I complained about this like the last few times I've used this paint. So that's one piece. That's good. We're getting this on here also. And get here, let's get this one we still can. There we go. It's okay if this is a little messy because again, I'm going to wash it, and it's hard to kind of pick out some of this stuff, so you'll be a little forgiving on yourself when painting 3D prints and stuff like this. We're running out of places to kind of hold on to him. So I'm probably gonna leave this pouch pretty clear because that's where I've been resting my thumb a lot. That's a piece of wood, so maybe we'll go back and, oh, that's not because we can make it metal, so we get to decide what it is. was like, it has wood grain on it. I'm like, no, that's his print lines. Okay. We'll also, oh no, okay, that's later. Different color. Okay, so now we gotta get his little top. We gotta get brown in there. Put some brown in there. Oh, we gotta get, hold on, we gotta get some more brown. There's some spots that I missed. There's lots of holes in this that I didn't pay attention to, so just gotta go put some black in there. Black, I mean brown in there. Brown in there. One more that I missed. Okay, there's a bunch under here, but you can't really see them because of the thing I covered it with. So okay, I think that's a turtle head. By the way, if you're looking at that and wondering what it is, I was wondering too. I think it is a turtle head, because it makes sense because he has the turtle on his back, but so instead of the Kraken Eater, he's the non-copyright infringing turtle eater. I think I'm just going to title this video like Painting a Fantasy Giant, because it's not really the Warhammer one, it's not the Sons of Bahamut, but you know what I'm doing. Should have put the extra armor plate on here with the Karl Franz one, but it had a name. It had Karl Franz on it, so I didn't want to put that on it. Because he's like a named character. I could have maybe filed it off, but that was a lot of work. I just wanted to kind of cover up seams, so I went with just the generic like woodland wizard cover here. Just gotta stab in there to get the paint in there. Wasn't really thinking about painting it when I converted it. But I mean, that's fine. You can make it work. Rope on there painted. And like thinking about my Quadrant Overlords, like this is the ropes on here are painted this color also, so I'll get those at this time. This net's going to be interesting to paint too. Gotta put some color inside the inside of it. Gotta go back and paint some flesh there. actually almost empty. The other side there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Okay, so now we get the little support socks done for him. If you wanted to, you could like put some barnacles on here or something. He's like a barnacle foot to really sell that. You know, he wanders the ocean a lot. Guess that we could call these little bubbles on him instead of just like print mistakes. They're just like little barnacles that are growing on his feet because he goes into water too much. And he's all wrinkled because he's pruned from being in the water too long. Do you think he waits an hour after he eats to jump in the pool? Jump in the ocean and eat? I don't think he's worried about cramps. Ooh. More pink. Oh, there's rope in there too. So I'll have to get that over here. Yeah. Put that on my list to buy. Ooh. We're almost an hour and we're not even really close yet. Maybe this will be a two-parter. Nah, I won't do that to you guys. Just get here and get it done. Now I gotta get the ropes on here. All right. Right now I think since this stuff, I'm very limited on my this paint right here, the khaki, the German camo beige. I'm gonna dry brush the mast right now, just because I don't want to still want to be able to do this while we have the paint. Okay, and some here, let's dry brush. Flicking onto these little areas here to kind of not make it so brown. Pants can be fine, but it was really like this part that we wanted to get and stuff, so got that. Now, what are we gonna do next? Let's get the metallics. Oops, I didn't get the. Remember when I said that these were a specific color? So we'll get these right now. Oop. The little cords on here. Okay. No, that needs to be that color. Okay. So let's go to the silver color, or gunmetal color. We'll get all these chains and the anchor. The armor plates. So we'll start at the top here. We're gonna get the chains on these. As well as the cap here. We'll try to get the ring because we'll do like a copper bronze thingy on the tip of it. So just get the bottom of the ring. Let me see, where can we hold this? We can hold it like that. Okay. We can go here. the sides here. Okay. Got that done. Let's get some of these back details here. Let's get the harpoon bits. Try to avoid hitting our, well, we can paint this all this color because we can go over it later with the other colors. I don't think we want that because I think we want this to be bronze, so just kind of hit it with some paints. You get the underside of it, so we have to flip this guy. Okay, we have the shield on his back. As well as this guy. And get this lance here. We'll rust them out later. For this little guy, we just use the silver on there and some of these little cords on the back, but we'll fix that when we get to the bronze. Get these little clips here. Same thing here with this little anchor that's in the floor. Let's paint that. Okay, now we gotta get this harpoon gun. Get these chains. anchor. Okay, so that covers all this. Oops. That covers that. And my battery's gonna die on my phone, so that's cool. I have 20%. And I don't know if I can make it through this. But we're gonna try, damn it. We're gonna get as much done before it crashes, and then we'll just post the video with whatever we have. I can't plug it in because the microphone is plugged into it. It would make my already kind of shitty sound even shittier. So let's just cut through this, pick it up. That guy. We'll go in here. There's another plate right here. Okay. Now we'll go to bronze. Let's go, go, go. Okay, so I'm out of bronze actually. So the old kind I used to use this weapon bronze from Army Painter. I used it to spray my Rocketeer helmet. So, alright, so let's get the orb here. Let's get the mines. Little floppy. Might have to not film the washing part, but we can get all the main colors on, I guess. We'll see. Just go as fast as we can here. Okay, so let's go to the head here. It's got like a bronze crown because it is a Fire Slayer's thing. So start getting that. It's a lot more watery than I'd like it to be for bronze, but it was good for the airbrush, which is what I was using to paint with, so I kind of had to settle. Oops. So Missed the brown spot in here. That really quick. Okay. Let's get this bit here, followed by this middle section, and this bit. Get the other sides. I'll get the top of the shield here, the little details here. Call those out right there. The little bongies on him. Can you get this harpoon gun covered now? That covers all the bronze on this dude. Now we got to do the stitching. So we're gonna use this desert yellow to do all the stitches and stuff on him. Look at all the stitches on the pants, the actual stitches here. And then we'll go here. On the pants to help them stand out a lot more. There's a lot too, so just pay attention and see if you can get them all. Should probably paint that a different color first before we do the stitching on it. Silver. I figured that would happen. Let's paint this guy this color just to kind of bring it into the rest of the model better. That's all of those. Let me just get the it's cleaned up that we hit. Okay. And then I don't really know what to do about this. I think I'm just gonna paint it black gray inside. Or black gray. And then just paint the things over with the same color we used for the stitching. Let's get our black gray and just because there's like no detail in it, so like just painting it like a color, like there's fish in there or something, probably wouldn't look good if I was doing it, like I mean, I'm sure if you were a better painter, like for sure you could make it look cool, but we're just gonna go with this way for now, especially since we only have like what, like 15% battery left, so just trying to chomp through this guy. Sucky thing about contrast paint is that you have to paint it white or gray to use. I'm going to take this off camera to finish the bottom of this thing. So if you're painting it, if you miss a spot on white, it's going to be so obvious. So just make sure you're trying to cover as much of the white as you can when you're painting other colors on top of it. Because I mean, if you're using a black primer, you just be like, oh, it's a shadow. Right? I mean, it's really easy to kind of hide those crimes. With white, it is a lot more difficult to hide your mistakes with. So just be aware of that when you're deciding what paint to use. Okay, so that covers our. Here we got 10% battery left. Let's get the Galvin flushing on that back part that we didn't get before. Okay. Let's get our vermilion color. We're going to do some feathers and this patch on his leg with this color. The black wash will cover most of that, so it's okay. Let's do the turtle's head inside the turtle's neck right there, and then the mouth, as well as this part. I'm an expert in turtle meat, so I'm not really sure what color it is. I mean, it's probably like a gray or something, but that's what we're going with right now. Okay. Here's tongue. Okay. And let's get a feather. Same thing on the other side. We want the top feather. Okay, flip it over to get the bottom sides of those. I'll have to be off screen probably to do this, so bear with me for a second. Okay, those feathers. Now let's go to a ultramarine blue. Yeah, where is it? Where is it? There it is. Ultramarine for another feather, as well as the banner on the lance that's on him. We're gonna paint that blue. Okay, same thing, flip it over so get the underside, so I'm gonna have to be over here for a second. Apologize, my painting, this guy's fucking huge. Okay. We're gonna get this banner here. Because blue is good. I don't know, I'm just saying things at this point. Ooh, that could have been very bad. That's a lot of, like, a big globule of paint just came with this. So I'm seeing some browns that I've missed, so I'm gonna have to go back through with that really quick. here really quick. Excuse me. Get this guy because it's kind of wrapped into his head really weird, so stand by. Okay. Got our blues down. Now we gotta go to, well, we'll let that dry because we're gonna do some other stuff, but we're gonna get an orange right now. This orange fire to do the mohawk, a bit of the mohawk. So we're just kind of to make it like a Fire Slayer mohawk. Black will be going in between. Okay. We're also going to be dotting the little power gems of these with this, because that's how my quadrants are. We're getting a little sloppy. Gotta clean it up a little bit. Especially like right here, like I missed like this whole section here. Let's get the inside here. Okay. Oops, I missed here, so let's go here. Get the little turtle bits. We'll get our black gray and stripe out these. So there, now he's got his mohawk. We're gonna get our moon dust. Trying to go fast here. It's gonna die any second. So we're just gonna paint the feathers with the yellow. And flip it over. You know the drill. And we're gonna get the little cross up here. Same thing on this side. Oops. I don't know what happened there. So we get the cross. So all that's left is the green for the turtle. I'm gonna paint the box green. And stuff, and then do a wash, and then But yeah, but the thing's gonna die, so this is where we're at right now. And I'll cut to the turnaround when we get there. Thanks. Okay, we have finished painting him and washing him. You can see that we painted the turtle shells and the bag green, finished the ropes on the back piece. Got them all nice and washed. Let's go. Little sections here. So this is our Gargant for Warhammer. Thanks for watching. See you next time.